Nah, I don't know. You shall tell me though. Because I don't know.
I don't know.
Not with me, so. What the best? I think I just make up omelette.
Okay, yeah.
You make omelettes. And I'm doing like with the
How?
hmm?
Is there my plates? One plate first. Thank you.
What are you eating watermelon? What are you doing? In your father's house like this?
How? I don't understand.
Okay, tell me, how was growing up? How was growing up?
My dad, I'm proud of you.
Wow.
I was only child for 10 years, you know.
Okay, yes.
So, I was like this girl. It was the first time in my life. Even after my sister came, I'll see you very, very much.
So,
I ate all the ice cream, meat pie, fruits. I was fun for my plate. Forget. This ice cream. I don't remember the name of this ice cream. That ice cream that used to have teeth.
popsicles. That's what they call it. That's what you do call it. Popsicles. So, you know, I'm a go people. You know me.
Oh, good. He was talking embarrassed boy.
But one or two people were very wealthy.
Were you?
No, I'm asking you like I'm asking.
No. We're not rich, we're not poor. We're just somewhere in between. At least we could afford 3 square meal. That was it. My family wasn't complex. Just this very good husband, you know. My mother was this. Oh yes, reserve, prayer warrior. My mother, father, we won't make her. She can economize. My mother is a woman that can cook. I can cook a pot of soup with 100 naira.
That's when you got
I took after. Oh yeah. I can say that again. So just cool family. Just to have just one sibling, my sister. Just my family was together, you know, just living our life. Very, very decent family. And that is a very cool man, man.
Lucky for you. Me, growing up, gosh. Poverty was sitting on top of our roof. Poverty was regulating the seasons for us. Yes. Okay, first of all, my father was in the military, was in Nigeria Army, he served in the military. Then, when he retired from the military, he then joined the ministry, he was a pastor of the Assemblies of God Church. And like pastors of those days, oh Jesus. Things were terrible. It was so bad that we actually go to the bush to pick palm nuts, not the fresh ones, one that birds pulled out of whatever. So that was so bad. So go pull, get those palm nuts, then cook it, wash it, and it was fruit. After chewing the palm nuts or the palm fruit, then you preserve the palm kernels, because that would be another meal.
Oh my God!
Yes, that's how interestingly bad things were. That's how it started. Then from there, things just kept going that way from Akwa Ibom, from Calabar, where I was born. Then somewhere along the line, my father left the military, joined the ministry, still there in Calabar. Then from there, moved to Akwa Ibom. Was there. Then from there, moved to Enugu. Started my primary school in Akwa Ibom. I mean, it was so bad that from primary 1 to primary 4, I didn't wear sandals.
I don't say it again.
From primary 1 to primary 4, I didn't know what it meant to wear sandals.
Hey!
So that's how bad it was. In primary 5, I wore sandals for the first time.
You wore sandals for the first time in primary 5.
But it was fun. Remember when I came back from school, then under the hot sun, the ground was so hot. So we learned to adapt, we get cartons that make like sandals from the carton. Everything was fun. Everything was interesting. So that's how interesting it was. So you can imagine what was food. I saw noodles for the first time in JS1.
Ew.
I didn't even know they used to cook noodles. And it was like, there was, I think, 2 minutes noodles. There was one particular brand I don't remember. There were other children at boarding school. I saw Golden Moon for the first time in boarding school in JS1. And so all those things were very, very fun. But you know, I'm so good at adapting right now. I do like when you go now, I can. So, that's how I was growing up was quite challenging. Growing up was quite challenging. But, my mother is this very homely, making everything go well. Okay, there was this like a graceful transition from that very challenging background to when things started looking up a little more. My family was this hub in any way then. If anybody that we knew traveling from anywhere, crossing Enugu, let's talk about the house. Because we moved from that very humble background, things that we always lived in big houses in Enugu. I think the last one was a 6-bedroom duplex. So always a big house, always having things.
At what point did you know?
Oh, it was very sharp and graceful. Okay, then housing was like, it was interesting. We always had big houses. Not as if we were actually very well at that time, but at that time Enugu was this kind of cheap town. So around there, they call the place Dexter. So we always had those big houses. What I say now, I always like big houses. Then I went to secondary school in Aba, Evangelist Seminary. Oh God, that's a very critical part of my story. Evangelist Seminary experience, very interesting. We were called troops. We used to do so many nice things. But I like making my omelets. After dicing the onion and the pepper, I like adding a little tomato sauce or stew. So it makes it very quite interesting. By the way, I know how to fix myself up. I'm this type of a very low cost, easy to maintain. Most times I fix my meals now.
Yeah, not every meal.
People don't really serve me. Like I make my breakfast. My breakfast is simple. Usually omelette with oats or granular or some kind of fruits. I'm just that easy to maintain kind of guy. So I do my things. I don't give anybody skin thing.
Okay.
So
not every meal.
Just a little.
Come and cook up soup now.
Calm down.
Soup.
I don't
Milk pizza.
I don't
because I fry egg now. You fix your meal.
You want to see my signature omelette? Like this is signature. If you don't have my omelette, you never start. Signature omelette. So, by the way, deviation from all that, this is how I make my omelette. After frying all this a little, what I do is, so it doesn't get too oily, I just get the tomato sauce and all this stuff, pour into the egg that I've already did. This is not particularly very good frying pan. It's not like the real non-stick. So I usually have more than normal oil or greasing so it doesn't stick. I just get it out. I maintain the same oil for the greasing. This is professional culinary school, the Dexter kitchen. So having done that, I now beats together. Oh, you want to have this? I now beats it further. Then now, oh gracious gosh,
No Maggi, no salt. This guy is boring.
No, I'm a very health conscious person. I do little seasoning, all those seasoning cubes, I don't like them. Too much sodium.
You won't see him add salt, you won't see him add
no salt. Why do you not know salt? I'm very health conscious kind of person.
That we tasteless food.
No, it's not tasteless. See, let me tell you, taste is acquired.
Okay.
Your taste buds can be conditioned out 21 days of eating a particular food. Your taste bud is acquired. All these high seasoning, it's actually, let me not go into the boring detail of MSG and all this stuff. But you can train your taste buds to eat healthy and not have all those salt and high sodium food. They're not actually delicious. Man, this is the part you want to see. My flipping. This is the part of this. Don't fall my hand. Don't fall my hand. Don't fall my hand. Let me show you how to flip. I I think this part is not a very good one. It's not properly great. But I'll do it. I'll do it. Let's go. Let's go. That's the shit, man. I told you guys. Well, I'll come to flip again. Let me show you. For the camera. Let's flip. Let's flip. I told you. Right, good. Okay, let's flip again. For those who are watching who do not have the flip, you put it this way and you go. So, I'm the master. And you will have an egg flipping contest. You lose.
So how would you say that your parental upbringing and family background affects your marriage?
Okay. My mother was a very homely person. Okay. Yes, my father too, a good Christian, was a pastor. Even when he was in the military, chaplain. Military chaplain. So it was that interesting. It was a very balanced family. Well, very many in my family. Let's not go into the complexities of how many we are. But we are this very closely knit, very warm family. All my siblings are very jovial, very funny. So I still miss those days when we were all at home together. So that was it. I knew that my father would bring money for food, those kind of things. Then most times when we used to travel also, to buy all those potato, all those stuff. So we always had food in the house. Food was never a problem. Even when we were poor, food wasn't a problem. My mother would always make sure every guest that visited ate in the house. Matter of fact, it was a crime to come to her house and not eat. My mother could pack the food and put in your bag, you must go with it. My mother believes that once you visit their house, you don't know if the person has not eaten. Good. So you must offer every visitor food.
The person has hope of next
meal. You must offer every visitor food. That's how she grew up. And being an Assembly of God pastor's wife, it was one of her canons.
I see that as really blessed.
So it influenced me a lot. We always had people in the house. We were very hospitable, very homely. So my siblings was very interesting. So that informed why I insist people must eat when they come to the house. You don't need the age or you don't have a meal. Then my father always had an open house. Everybody who visited, like I said, must stay over. So I never saw my parents. Okay, they used to argue. Yes, of course. They used to argue. My father transited from being a very stubborn military man to a very calm, meek, not talking kind of person. That influenced me too. Like most times you say I ignore you, I don't talk. That's you can ask my father from today tomorrow, he will answer you. When you just say, you do well. That's what my father was. So no tomorrow when he comes back and he goes upstairs to his room and that's how he always so. But I made it more duty to learn to interact with the children, to play and not pick up that part of my father. My father was not so much into talking and all that. You wanna try it? My omelet, you wanna try it? So, how about you? That again. What's going on?
She was a very strong person. Be like my house. My mother says, "This is it." That was why when I wanted to, when it was time for me to decide who to get married to, when my mother said no, she didn't want me to get married to my husband. It was a very big problem. I knew I had it was a big one. I knew I had to fight the war. My dad is just a lover boy. He loves me. He was always
my guy.
That's why I like my dad a lot. My dad is a phlegmatic like him. In fact, I used to pray that God should give me a husband like my father. And I think God answered that prayer.
He did.
Like almost 95%.
Nice guy, I am. Nice guy.
He blessed me a lot of my dad.
No problem.
My father is back for me, from the word go. Then I told him I was going to get married to my husband. He just said, do you love me?
Do you love me?
That's what he asked.
Do you love me?
My mom said, hell no. And she almost brought down the roof of my house. My mom is this pillar, the one that will stand and say, it cannot happen. And
her mother took my picture to many Orioke, so go and pray. I know if I was the one.
Can you just stop?
Yes. No, but the truth is that it's very important for parents to have I mean, okay, my bias, I'm a pastor, I'm a Christian man. So that's the most important legacy you can have for your children. Godly, value-based family. So she didn't want any riffraff, any kind of man. She wanted to be sure that the man coming for her daughter, her first daughter, was the right man. So she prayed, she fasted, she did everything to make sure it was the right man. And that's why when she just saw it was God's will for me, God's will, I am, God changed my name to God's will. When she saw I was God's will for her daughter, she just allowed everything. The influence is still very strong till today. Lagos grandma, you don't want to try her for any reason. So parents, especially my generation, be sure you have that legacy for your children. Don't follow money or vanity. Be sure that you are putting value-based family to your children.
My mother knows how to manage, how to organize, how to cover up. You know, nobody should know what is happening in the family. Even when there's no hope of the next meal, no neighbor, there's no, you know. She's just, I don't know. My mother is still my role model tomorrow.
My mother-in-law will never make it woman.
My mother does not ask. She will not, I will speak with her on phone. She won't even say, I'm not feeling so. She will never. My mother does not ask. And I'm like that too. I don't ask.
Yes, you don't. That's true.
I don't ask. I can't. I expect that you should just know. And if you don't, well. So when I'm in that tight corner where I have to ask, it takes a whole lot to say, I want this, you know.
Now see, the downside of that kind of lifestyle is that you live your life sacrificing for other people. It's supposed to be a good thing. But sacrificing does something to you. When you make sacrifices, you look for a way to replenish yourself. Because we're humans, we're not infinite. If you keep sacrificing without getting replenished, you get to a point where you become bitter. Because you feel those you've given, you've done for should do back for you.
Okay.
And life doesn't work that way. So you get to a point where people don't recompense you in the measure you did for them, then you are burning out. You are not getting replenished, you're always giving a sacrifice, you're not making demands. And so when it gets to the point where you have your own needs, look for a way of replenishing yourself, either by make demands or at least make requests. Those who make sacrifices must make a point of contact to replenish themselves. If not, you now become toxic to those you are sacrificing for. You become angry with the world around you because they did not give back to you the measure they gave to them. Accidentally, people will never give to you that. So that's one thing about people who make sacrifices who never ask. And that's the point that our marriage got to in those early days where my wife always felt abandoned, not taken care of, because I'm the type of person that I'm easygoing. I want you to ask, tell me what you want. Ask, tell me what you want. So when she never asked, I mean, those early days I felt there was no problem, everything was cool, I was that naive, but I mean, that's why the downside of being an easygoing person. So I feel those who make sacrifices should ask, look for where you're getting replenished. So that's that of it for me. And my wife is taken seriously after that.
That's very emotional and you are not. I'm the one who is emotional. When I was go married, my husband would shout. And I'll be like, my father never shouted for me. Can you just stop shouting?
My father was a military man.
And he'll be like, I'm not your father. Like he just come in and he just start shouting, who get this cup here? And I'm coming from a family where it's just me and my younger sister who I'm far older than, you know. And then, like I said, I was the only child for 10 years. I was pampered, almost spoiled. No, I'm not. I was pampered. And my father never shouted for me. In fact, my father beat me once in my entire life. In my full life.
He apologized for 1 year.
He apologized for almost 1 year for beating me. He apologized every day. He come back with gifts, almost in tears. My father is very My father is very emotional now. He will come and pet me and tell me sorry for beating you. Once, guess what? I lost pencil. My father beat me once in his life. He doesn't shout at me. And then I got married. Here I am. Husband's house. And the next thing, my husband will just come back and start shouting. Okay, my father was a military man.
But I've stopped shouting.
You have like 50%. You still shout, but not as much as. At first, those days, I was just crying. I will cry and sulk and I will be like, you will not even understand what's wrong with this girl. Why is she crying? Why is she sulking? You know?
I hardly ever saw my mother cry.
No, but I don't cry again.
Strong woman, not callous. My mother was strong, but not callous. She had a soft side. Now, this issue of a man getting ready to go out and waiting for the wife, I never saw it happen in my family. It never happened. My parents were never late for any function. So, matter of fact, my father was a pastor. If you invited him for a program for 8 o'clock, you'll be in the church at 7 o'clock. You'll be there when you guys are setting up before you start the service. My mother always be ready for my father. They were always, so when we're growing up there, you're going with my father, you wear your shoe in the car, but they'll leave you. Father gets to the car, you're gone. Even when we were traveling, sometimes you wear your trousers belt up inside the car. So growing up now, becoming married, and I have to wait for your wife for 30 minutes. It's strange. Every time I'm always honking. Let's leave this place now. But that's family for you. You never get all this stuff.
But you have stopped shouting anyways. Not like entirely, but it's a 50%.
But babe, even with my whole shouting, what would you say are the things you like about me most?
Things I like about you?
Yes.
Okay, I like the fact that you forgive easily. Forgive easily. You're very calm guy. You don't get wahala. You tell my plan, I'm not always the wahala person. No one's always stepping on his toes. Just a gentleman. What do you like about it? Tell me. Tell me.
No, things are not good. My virtues are long.
Hey, wait. I like a whole lot. If I start saying,
say it.
Say it.
Tell the world.
Oh my God, I like the fact that I'm very intelligent. Oh yes. My husband knows everything about everything. There's nothing you ask him in this world. Just think of anything. Ceramic, for example. He will give you a whole lecture about ceramic. That was what came to mind now. Think of the moon. He will give you 1 hour talk about the moon. You wouldn't be the one that get tired. Think of humans, medicals, arts, engineering, science, whatever. He's a superhuman. I've heard people tell me, yes, you are. I've heard people tell me that a couple of times that this guy is not, you're married to, your husband is not a human being. People have told me that many times. And I'm like, what manner of wisdom? Your last birthday, on everybody's status, I still have those screenshots in my phone. On everybody's status, one word that was paramount on everybody's status was wisdom. Wisdom. Everybody kept on saying wisdom.
Hallelujah.
Wisdom. And I'm living with wisdom. Am I not blessed? I take it. Well, I'm okay.
Okay. My wife is very energetic.
Okay.
Very energetic. Sometimes I wonder how one person could possess such energy. I see her energy is like 32,000 megawatts.
Jesus!
So, she can bring the whole place to life. Whenever my wife travels, the whole house feels empty and deserted. Whenever she's out of town. So I don't like her to travel because I want to be able to travel and be sure that she's that way. She's vivacious, life of the party, make things happen. She's the social magnet. She knows people, knows their birthday, she talks to them. She's the marketer at large. She's this kind of market maven. If you have anything you do, my wife takes note of it. She will tell it to the whole world. She just like making this happen. She likes going to the market. Oh, why you have here? I asked her if she was born in the market or something. She likes going to the market. Then she's very, very economic. She's a good saver. Very, very. She's just that way. She has what conserving resources, and that brings problems because she doesn't allow me to. This life I can't keep myself. She doesn't allow me to not keep myself. But she's that way. She makes the world go round, and that. My wife is a very, very warm person. You can't be with her and you are dumb. You cannot. And even in her weaknesses, it makes everything interesting too. She can support you. She can support whatever you want. She can support. She can push you. My wife push me. I'm this laid back, phlegmatic, typical kind of guy. She will push me. She will knock the hell out of me till I get to do what I should do. I procrastinate a lot. It's my nature. That's why I'm changing a little. She'll not accept it. But she's a go-getting, like, let's move now. Let's do it now. Let's do it now. Everything. Let's get it going. She's that way. She wants you to be very conservative, hide yourself, don't show yourself, that kind of person. She's a darling. Yes, she is.
So, if given a chance, what would you like to change about me?
You know, see, let me warn you guys, young men. See this question. This question. If your wife asks you, if you had a chance, what would you change about her? That question, you need wisdom to answer it.
Ew.
That question.
Very sincere question.
There is no sincere question with women. It's always a trap.
Jeez.
So, what would I change about you? Nothing. I love you the way you are. If I had to live my life without you, dear,
oh yeah,
the days will not be empty.
Bring it up, bring it up.
I remember, boy. Yes. Like I said, you don't have to change a thing. I love you just the way you are. I love everything about you. Yes, drama can be hard sometimes, but without the drama, it gets boring. So I love the drama. I know that stuff. If I say allow me to spend my money,
but this is going to ask me the same question. Let me
just
say.
It will not be good because we'll wreck. I'll eat the children's shoes and buy a pair of shoes. So everything about you is the compliment. She's everything I'm not. So the compliment. So change something. Okay, sometimes yes, we're quarreling about those things, but I mean, see the part of what makes the thing go around. So tell me, give me 2 sheets of what you want to change about me. I know.
Just one. Less extravagant. I don't just spells on impulse. Just be going on the road like this. You just say shoe, just buy it. Again, the way that. That's about right.
I feel attacked. Sorry, attacked. I can't say I just go on the road and see I want to buy it.
I like you to plan more. Less impulse buying. Less impulse buying. I like to plan. I like to plan everything. I'm like that. I wake up in the morning and I'm writing how I want to spend my day. I plan everything. I'm leaving the house by 10 a.m. I'll be back by 4 p.m. I like to plan. Like, let me just have an idea what my day will look like. Let me have an idea what I'm doing. I like to plan. And then I'm asking him, let's plan. What are we doing this? He wants to just wake up and, okay, let's hit the road. Now we'll get to that bridge. You know, that kind of.
I'm not like that. Sometimes you generate things and not misrepresent me.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Now, it's because I'm a very smart guy. I have my life figured out.
It's so cool.
And because I don't talk a lot, you think I'm not planning?
Your brain, you're planning.
I plan myself in my brain.
Your brain. Not that smart. So I always like to vocalize it and sometimes write it down, you know. But that says write the vision.
But sincerely, I need to change that down because communication is a critical part of marriage. You need to talk, communicate. I keep saying communicate, talk to your wife, talk. Incidentally, with energy, talking is work for me, but marriage is a talking business.
Yes, sir.
You have to keep talking. So, no worry. This next 10 years, I'll be talking. I will talk. But my intestine will tell me when it wants to digest food.
No, please.
I will. One thing that I'm very certain of, I've always been very, very, very certain about this. Before we got married, God told me the kind of family I was going to have. Now, the word was very clear that our marriage is supposed to, or is designed to build bridges. That's marriage. Now, before I got married, like when I came to Asada, I had a very rough time. I suffered, I had to squat in many places, and many people I'm grateful for who accommodated me in those early days, 2006, 7, 8, rough years, even up to 9 and 10. So, while I was going through that hard time when things were very rough, I made a prayer to God. I told God, if you give me a place of my own, set me up in this town and get me going, I'll make sure I avail myself as a succor to any young person who wants to become anything. I made that prayer, desperate prayer. God granted me. God gave me a place in this town and things started going for me. So I take it upon myself to make sure any young man, any young woman who is trying to find their feet, I open my door, my business, my house to help them do what they want to do. It's building a bridge from where you are to where you want to be. For young people, same for couples. We have so many young or not so young couples who we mentor. That's a heavy word to use, but that's what it is. We help find their feet. So it's to build bridges to help make them who God wants them to be. So that has been the vision of our marriage, and we have many people. It's very hard for me to call somebody a son, but I mean, God has given us many people who have become sons to us, and we take that role with a huge sense of responsibility because it's what God called us to do. So that's been the vision from day one, and we'll keep pushing that. And I believe that as the years roll by, God will show us other ways to. I think I'm beginning to have a ministry for boys, for small boys, from 6 to 12. I mean, sub-teenage boys. There's a lot happening with teenagers, but a lot happens before they become teenagers. So this ministry for boys, I have all sons. All my siblings, we have all sons. My mother has all grandsons. So there's this ministry for boys which I'm thinking is in the open. But that is it, to build bridges. That's the vision for our marriage, actually, for our family.